Welcome into another video, and the time is finally here. We are into the AFC Wild Card round. If you want to know my NFC Wild Card predictions, you can go check out my video from yesterday. But here we are in the AFC, and we got three really good games, three really tight matchups. If I'm being completely honest with you, the Bills and the Jaguars may be my favorite matchup of the entire weekend. Then you got the Chargers and the Patriots, which is a very interesting one. The 7 versus the 2 seed. People calling the Patriots some skeptics because they have an easy strength of schedule, but the Chargers as well having their troubles of their own this season. And then Monday Night Football, you got the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. What a beautiful weekend we have ahead of us. I'm so excited to get into it. Let's go ahead and kick it off with the first AFC game, and that is the number 6 Buffalo Bills versus the number 3 Jacksonville Jaguars. And as you can see here on the left, these guys are damn near top 10 in every single category. Bills 3rd in yards per game and 4th in points per game. Meanwhile, the Jaguars coming in at 11th in yards per game and 6th in points per game. And then defensively, very good on both ends of the spectrum here as well. Defensive yards per game and points per game, 7th and 12th for Buffalo, and then 11th and 8th for Jacksonville. Let's go ahead and get into the key matchups. And number 1 is James Cook versus the Jaguars rushing defense. I mean, that is right there a beautiful matchup in his own. You're talking about the number 1 rush defense in football in the Jacksonville Jaguars versus James Cook, who was the number 1 running back in yards per game, yards total this season. He has been a dominant force all year long, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find success. Think about Jonathan Taylor in the season he's had right there with James Cook. And in his 2 matchups with the Jacksonville Jaguars, he only averaged 72 yards per game, which is down from his 94 yards per game. And he only averaged 3.4 yards per attempt, which is just a major click down from his 4.9 yards per attempt on the season. So the Jaguars run defense, definitely not to be messed with. Our next key matchup is the Bills pass defense versus Trevor Lawrence. And we're kind of right back in the mix there. The Bills by far have the number 1 passing defense in football this season, and the Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence, he's been very good this year. Number 6 in passing yards. I believe he's 4th in touchdowns, maybe 3rd in touchdowns this year. And this is going to be another interesting matchup. Over the last 9 weeks, the Bills have only allowed 1 game with 200 or more passing yards, and that's against the likes of Drake May, Baker Mayfield, Jalen Hurts, and CJ Stroud. So some big names in there that T-Law is going to have his work cut out for him. And let's go ahead and get into the keys to the game. And for the Buffalo Bills, it's as simple as this: protect the ball. Nobody takes the ball away better than the Jacksonville Jaguars in the AFC, and they're number 1 in the entire NFL in points off turnovers. So that's going to be a big point of emphasis for the Buffalo Bills, keeping the ball out of harm's way. And then for the Jaguars, it's apply the pressure. Josh Allen is superhuman. He can handle anything. But under pressure this year, he has the 2nd most interceptions in the NFL with 7. If you want to take the ball away, which the Jaguars are very good at doing, you have to apply the pressure. And then you get the points off those turnovers. It's going to be a beautiful matchup. But I'm going to rock with the experience on this one and Josh Allen. And I'm going with the Buffalo Bills as my winner. It's going to be a tight one. And that's definitely no disrespect to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they have a phenomenal team. I think they very well could come out on top of this one. No doubt about it. I think this is maybe a hot take, but I think the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and get that out there right now. Winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. Jaguars or Bills. You guys know in the preseason I had the Bills as my Super Bowl champion this year. So I'm riding with Buffalo in this one. Let's go ahead and get into the 3:30 slate on Sunday, and that is the number 7 Chargers at the number 2 Patriots. Once again here, top 10 in every statistical category except for points per game for the Los Angeles Chargers. They're top 10 in yards on offense, number 2 in yards on defense, number 9 in points on defense. And then you can see here, Patriots very well balanced, 4th and 2nd in yards and points per game offensively, and then 8th and 4th defensively. And let's go ahead and get into the key matchups. And that's going to be the Chargers passing defense versus Drake May. That is a matchup I have been dying to watch all year long. This is going to be a good one. Chargers number 5 pass defense in the NFL. Drake May has not had very many matchups against top 10 defenses, only facing off against two, one of them being the Buffalo Bills, where he got the best of them in the first round, but they really got the best of him in the second round. And then the other, the Cleveland Browns, where he had a pretty solid day, completed 75% of his passes, a lot of yards, but I feel like they were a very hit or miss defense all year long. So this is going to be a real test for Drake May. And then the Chargers all year long have been shutting down opposing quarterbacks. They've been really good against the passing game. I think back to that Houston matchup just a few weeks ago where Stroud came out, lit the world on fire, and then the rest of the game, they really were clamps. Let's go ahead and get into the second key matchup, and that's going to be the Chargers offensive line versus the Patriots defensive line. That is the bottom ranked unit in all of football for the Chargers, 32nd in pass block win percentage, but the Patriots defensive line is only around 19th and 20th mark in terms of pass rush win percentage. But Milton Williams, Christian Barmore, an interior that you do not want to mess with in any way, shape, or form. That's going to be something to keep their eye on. Keys to victory for the Los Angeles Chargers. It's as simple as this. Get the ball out quick. Obviously, all year long, Justin Herbert has been under pressure. He's the most sacked quarterback in football. So to keep him out of harm's way and to keep some negative plays, you have to get the ball out quickly. And the New England Patriots run the most zone in the National Football League. I think it's around like a 63% mark, something like that, which means get the ball out fast. You know, it's not going to be one-on-one matchups. Obviously, it could be some cause for concern jumping into passing lanes when you're not seeing it, not expecting it. But get the ball out quick. You got some good route runners. Keenan Allen, Ladd McConkey, some very good route runners on the field. Get the ball out quick. Keep the ball out of harm's way against that Patriots front. And the number two key to the game, and that's for the New England Patriots, and establish the run. Nobody leads the NFL in time of possession like the Los Angeles Chargers do. They come in at number 2 in the NFL, but before they rested their starters in Week 18, they were number 1 in football. So keep that from happening and to keep them from putting up all these yards that they're so good at doing against this Patriots defense, keep the ball out of their hands, establish the run game, run the ball down their throats. They have a very good pass game, a very good run defense as well, but much better against the pass. Establish the run, get Travion Henderson going, get Ramondre Stevenson going, and I think in the end of the day, you guys are going to come out on top of this one, and that is why I'm rolling with the New England Patriots. Not that I think the Patriots are substantially better than the Los Angeles Chargers, but I do just think that offensive line is just deadly. It is so deadly against this team. I think it's going to be a great game. I do, but I like the home field advantage here for New England. You got some LA boys coming out into the cold weather of Foxborough, Massachusetts. Let me roll with the home team on this one. I think they're going to run the ball well. I think Drake May is going to have a really good game, and Drake May is going to get his first playoff win as the franchise quarterback for the New England Patriots. Let's make our way to Monday night where we got the Texans at the Steelers, the 5 seed versus the 4 seed. And as you can see here, not necessarily great from the graph for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 25th in yards per game offensively, 15th in points per game offensively, and then defensive yards per game, also pretty poor, and then 17th in points per game. And you can really see what stands out there for the Houston Texans. Their middle pack offense is okay, but that first and second ranked defense in yards and points per game, the best defense in football, a force to be reckoned with. Let's talk about some key matchups. You have Nico Collins versus the Steelers DBs. That is going to be a very big matchup. 74 yards per game for Nico Collins puts him at 8th in the NFL this year. He's consistently been one of the best receivers in football over the course of the last few seasons. Him and Stroud have a serious connection. The DBs are going to have to do whatever they can to try and limit his touches as much as they can throughout the game. Getting into our second key matchup, and that's the Texans offensive line, which is a very poor unit, versus the Steelers defensive line, which is a very good unit. Herbig, Highsmith, Watt all have 7 or more sacks. Watt's numbers would definitely be a little bit more inflated if he didn't miss a couple games over the course of this season. Herbig leads the NFL in pass rush win percentage. The number 4 is a unit in the entire NFL. The Texans are going to have their work cut out for them on Sunday. They need to be prepared for an elite pass rushing unit. Let's go ahead and get into keys to victory. Texans, take your shots. I know that I just spoke about how the pass rush is going to be getting there, so you're not going to have a whole lot of opportunities to take your shots, but the Steelers are known for giving up a lot of deep shots. Find your game, find your time, and take those deep shots. Jalen Noel is a burner. Higgins can go long. Nico Collins, obviously, like I said, one of the best receivers in the game. Find a way to take your shots. score points off of that. It's very, very doable against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And then for the Steelers, that is wear down the defense. I don't know if this unit fully can be stopped and fully be scored on like that, but try to get Gainwell going, try to get Warren going, try your best to wear down this defense, get to the outside, make them run a lot, make them run all over the field. I'd be implementing misdirection, this and that. Try to wear down this insane Texans defense, one of the best defenses of the year by far, the best defense in football this year, one of the best defenses of the decade maybe. They have been absolutely lights out. So do what you can, get the ball out of your hands quick, Aaron Rodgers, because he can't move around too much. Do what you can to limit this defense. Let's go ahead and get into my winner, and I'm rolling with the Houston Texans in this one. I have a lot of respect for the Steelers franchise, a lot of respect for the Steelers team. I just think that this Texans defense is going to be way too much to overcome for the Steelers. It's a gauntlet of a unit. I just don't think the Steelers offense is on the same level, even remotely close to the Houston Texans. And I like to think that I like Stroud and Collins to be able to get it going against this against the Steelers secondary enough where they're going to win the game. Texans are favored by 3 on the road. I think that's a tell of what the league views. I kind of view it the same way. I think it's going to be like a 24-20 game. Maybe even saying a little bit. Let me go 17-10 in favor of Houston. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my AFC Wild Card round predictions. If you did not check out my NFC one, you can go check that out on my page, on my channel right now. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on who you think is going to win some of these matchups. Let's get some ball talk in the comments. I'm always down to respond. I'm always down to chop it up and talk some ball in the comments. So let me know who you got winning this weekend. Enjoy your playoff weekend. It's going to be a good one. We got some really good matchups this weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.